Player comparisons. We're doing a best case and a worst case player comparison for Ja'Kobe Walter, Baylor guard, bucket, scorer extraordinaire. We're going to try and convince each other whose comp is better and come up with a consensus at the end of this. I have not heard Brian's comparisons. He has not heard mine. Let's get right into this. Ja'Kobe Walter, what is his best case scenario player comparison?
Best case scenario is the best case I think we have in NBA history of a guy who isn't a great creator, isn't a great defender, but a knockdown shooter. Let's go with Ray Allen. I think that's best case scenario for Ja'Kobe Walter is that the shot becomes more consistent. He brings that around. He rounds out some other parts of his offensive game the way Ray Allen did in Seattle and Milwaukee, and has a long, long NBA career with that shooting. So give me Ray Allen.
Okay, I like the archetype of that. Do you really, in your heart, Brian Ralph, believe that Ja'Kobe Walter has Hall of Fame potential?
I do not, but we were talking best case. I think there is a world where he is Ray Allen. I don't think it's the likely outcome, but we're best casing this.
You think there's a 0.1% chance he's a Hall of Famer?
I think there's like a 0.5% chance. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if I can get there, man. Now I feel bad what my best case comp is. If you watch our scouting report, by the way, we were torn on this. I was more negative than Brian was. This is going to sound blasphemous when I say it out loud. I'm warning you right now, but the numbers I think are better than you would think. I think his best case scenario is OJ Mayo. OJ Mayo was
without the drugs.
Without the drugs, pre-drugs. He was an extremely high pedigree recruit, just like Ja'Kobe Walter was. He was a 6'5" scoring guard. All he wanted to do was go get buckets. That is Ja'Kobe Walter. When OJ Mayo got to the NBA, he was very good. He averaged 18.5 points a game his rookie season, 17.5 his second year at Memphis, ended up being a rotation player either for Memphis, Dallas, or Milwaukee for the first 7 years of his career, scoring in double figures every single year. And then, of course, things happened that caused that to come to an abrupt end. But you look back on it, and it just says, like, he was a 13-a-game scorer. He had a bunch of years above 15 points a game scoring. All he did was score, but he did help teams win. I think that is more likely, but I think that's a best case scenario for Ja'Kobe Walter.
I think OJ was more of a scorer than a shooter. And
Fair.
Walter, while a scorer, I think Walter is more of a shooter than a scorer.
I think I can see that. I can buy that. I'm not going to completely concede this until we get to our worst case comps. What's your worst case scenario for Ja'Kobe Walter?
The last or more famous person to be compared to Ray Allen was Ben McLemore.
That's my worst case comp too.
Is it really?
I had the exact same one. Yeah, I did. I mean, yeah, we're in alignment here. That's also like, why do we think it didn't work with Ben McLemore? Like, just shots don't go in because he shot 36%.
Yeah, the shooting didn't translate, and the rest of his game didn't come around. Like we talk about Ja'Kobe Walter's worst case scenario is he's still a 34% 3-point shooter, doesn't develop as a playmaker, doesn't develop as a ball handler, and his defense stays kind of meh.
Yeah.
And that's what happened with McLemore.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Ben was like just out to only shoot threes too, which to your point probably points towards Ray Allen being the better comp because he didn't do anything inside the arc. He didn't rebound. He didn't pass. Ben honestly stayed in the league longer than he should have. If you look at his numbers,
at the end of his career though was a lot of like Kings and bad Rockets and just terrible teams.
You're so true. Just jumping around, different team every single season from 25 through 28. That's crazy. Yeah, okay. I mean, we have a consensus worst case. That's fun. I think this is only the second time that's happened. I'll give you Ray Allen. I think the shooter over scorer makes sense to me after we did the Ben McLemore discussion.
I like it. Again, I don't think that's the likely outcome. The likely outcome is again somewhere in the middle, some middling shooter, but I think there is a world out there somewhere where Ja'Kobe Walter has a 15-year Ray Allen type career.
I mean, I just talked myself way more into Ja'Kobe Walter than I expected in this video. If you like this video, we have 74 more player comparisons for all the best players on our Sleepers NBA Draft Big Board leading up to the draft itself. You can go watch those on the channel. We're dropping 5 per day, every day leading up to the draft. The NBA draft is coming up, and I've got something awesome for you. We are partnering with the people at NBA 2K Lab. NBA 2K is the best video game on earth. The people at 2K Lab are making some awesome stuff to make that game even more fun, and they just launched their 2024 NBA Draft Simulator, where you can find the official Sleepers Media big board. We ranked our top 75 players in this draft class. Me, Carter, Brian Ralph, Riley Davis. We did it together, and it is featured on the 2K Lab NBA Draft Simulator. You can take control of any team in the draft, play GM with just one click, and see our entire rankings before these videos even come out. Check out the link in the description of this video to try out the draft sim for yourself, and you can find more mini games at nba2klab.com/NBA-mini-games.